Collecting toys and video games, reliving other days. Super geeks and parties here to stay. Turbo! Ooh, yeah!
Welcome to Turbo Geeks Ultra. I'm your host, Brandon, as always, with Mr. Sean Ryan.
Hey,
What's going on, bud?
not much.
Did you recover from our last episode with Kent Chungus?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think when we even recorded that now.
It was last week.
Last week. Oh yeah, definitely recovered since then. So
Yeah, that was a good one.
Whew.
We that dude, that man is just funny. Like, I don't care how you slice it. He's so raw and uncut. Like,
yeah,
he's just
I
funny.
love it. It doesn't matter what he's talking about. It doesn't even have to be that funny. It's just, it's just his delivery on everything's great.
Right.
Just a good dude.
Right. So, oh man, but that was a fun episode. We did the uncut. Go back and listen to it if you're over the age of 18, not easily offended,
Yeah.
and because no holds barred, like it was a good time.
Plus, you get to see me get super hammered and swear a lot. It's great.
Yeah, it was funny because Sean to this day will never live down Cowabunga's revenge.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? And then I got like all defensive. I was like, screw you guys.
So anyway, let's get into it this week because we don't need another 2-hour episode.
Yeah,
Flort, that took a long time to do.
that one was worth the 2-hour episode.
Oh yeah,
great.
it was a good time. So real quick, I picked up some new cassettes.
Ooh, what'd you get?
Yeah. So I got you a gift. I'll start with your gift.
Another one.
Another one, dude. When I find these deals, I'm like, it's got to be in the collection for Sean Ryan.
I love it.
Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn you to VHS hoarding before it's over with.
All right. Well, so now the thing is, you're gonna have to make a digital copy of your list because if you're not going to be able to respond in time when I find, these movies as well, because I found those two, I still need to hook you up with. I'm gonna have to like reference to see if you've got these films.
Same. I'm gonna have to make a Google Docs of just everything I have because it's getting there. Because that's actually why you got this gift.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Galaxy Quest.
Dude, Galaxy Quest, yes.
Yeah, I was like, man, I need Galaxy Quest. No, I don't. I got Galaxy Quest back there.
So when I love that movie.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I'm like, Sean Ryan needs a copy of this. So
yeah, because I think we talked about that a lot.
Oh, dude, it's so great. It's a diamond in the rough. Like, this movie does not get a lot of.
There's kind of it kind of has a cult following for some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then I got this one too. So if you remember correctly, back in the day, the Nickelodeon cartoons for the 90s, and we talked about it a little bit on our Chungus episode, but the cartoons are on a whole nother level, and I think we're going to do an episode on like 90s Nickelodeon cartoons because they were on a whole nother level. Yeah. But little Ren and Stimpy action.
Oh, that's a nice find.
Bro, this is what I forgot about the whole Nickelodeon cartoons VHSs.
Mm-hmm.
They were orange.
They're all orange. Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm like, oh god. So, and I can't wait to watch it because, dude, Ren and Stimpy was on a whole new level of just vulgarity without being
Yeah.
like,
Super adult humor, as well as like Rocco's Modern Life, wasn't as bad as Ren and Stimpy, but still had a lot of
dude,
adult humor.
Rocco's was one of my favorite, especially,
Same.
bro. He worked for a sex
Yeah,
phone.
online. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then finally, because we quote it all the time, and especially with all the dumb stuff that's going on in the world, Wolverine.
Nice. Red Dawn, the original. What a nice
Yes,
find.
dude, and it's beautiful. Like the case, this is probably one of my top tier cases, except for that stupid sticker on the side. They ruined it. But whoever had this collection had they had them all numbered because there was a bunch like there that were numbered,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, they took care of their collection except for putting the stupid sticker on there for the label maker, dummies. But yeah, so I got Red Dawn. It's so good.
It is.
So good.
Very good.
And then how about a little Jim Varney action?
Ooh, which one'd you get?
It's called the Ernest Film Festival. Okay.
What?
Dude, it says 101 Ernest and Vern commercials and bloopers.
What? That's cool. I've got to watch that.
Here's the best part. I don't know if you could tell,
Mhm.
but the front is very like faded, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The back is
Oh.
bright yellow.
Wow.
Like that's the time fade. It's like this thing was in the back of an '89 Chevy's window.
Yeah, sitting in the back.
So I'm like, man, but it's Ernest Jim Varney, dude. That dude was one of my favorite Halloween movies to this day. Is Ernest Scared Stupid.
Same here. It's a must for me to watch every Halloween. It's one of my top Halloween movies.
So like after I got this, I'm like, you know what? We should do a Ernest episode because it was a big part of my childhood growing up.
That would be cool. And
Yeah.
Jim Varney in general, because I loved the movie Beverly Hillbillies so
Yep.
much. And he was so great in that movie.
Yeah,
That's
he was,
another movie I repeat all the time.
Yeah, so you know what I mean, Vern?
You know what I mean, Vern?
All right, then I got Kit Chungus. We talked about this on the last episode, and I should have brought it out then, but I didn't. Bam!
Oh, nice.
Mortal
Dude,
Kombat on
clean.
VHS. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, it is super clean. And oops, and
No,
not anymore. Yeah, dude. We were talking about this on the Kent Chungus episode where he was a big Mortal Kombat fan, and we were talking about the CGI and everything that's in this movie. I remember when I saw this movie for the first time, it was at a drive-in
Mhm.
because back in the day, drive-ins, you got the 3 for the price of 1
Yeah.
because you would watch the first 2, and then if it's timed correctly, you could turn around and watch the third one behind you because they always played the first one, the second one, and the first one again.
Okay.
So we used to sneak around, and we used to go to the drive-in all the time when we were kids and in high school.
That's something I wish I did more often. I only remember one movie, and that was Shaft.
like Samuel L. Jackson Shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So, but I got some more VHS here that all contain a certain person that is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so while we're at it, why don't we dive right into the Name That Movie, Mr. Sean Ryan.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes, it is. I knew this was going to be a quick one.
Yeah.
But this week is a very important reason why Planes, Trains is playing behind me. It is one of my favorite John Candy movies.
Same here.
Dude, I know this movie. Like, I don't need to watch it with audio.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
like
one of
me
those
with Star Wars.
movies. Yeah, I know what they're saying. I know what they're talking about. Del Griffith is one of my favorite. Dude, John Candy channeled the whole, like, good guy. He's just an all around good guy. And then, Steve Martin was the, butthead in the, you know, but yeah, dude, it's one of my favorites. So we're going to talk about John Candy this week.
Sweet.
Sound good? Awesome.
Heck yeah.
All right. So I made I learned a lot. I watched a documentary. It was like the life of John Candy, and it was absolutely eye-opening to the kind of person that John Candy was, man. He was an all-around just genuine dude. And it just the way his opening up, dude. Like, I knew he was in Second City, right?
Yeah.
So Second City was a Canadian SNL, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an improv group, and then they ended up making SCTV. But dude, that's where, like, he was with, like, Dan Aykroyd, Gene Levy, that whole era of great comedian.
The great comedians.
So he was in that group, right? Well, they had these, like, improv shows. Well, the only thing that he wanted to do was just, like, make people smile and laugh. Like, that was his goal.
Mm-hmm.
And it always comes down to the funny big guys. That's all we want to do. We just want people to be happy.
Yeah. Because
inside you're not happy with yourself. Like,
right.
that's how we're wired, So with that being said, let's talk about some of the great John Candy movies.
Absolutely.
Because, dude, he started out with the side, or the supporting supporting actors, and like Stripes, where he was, the supporting roles, man. But dude, he was still funny in everything that he did.
Yeah.
As I messed up our notes as we're taking this. But yeah, so with him becoming his own, like, character, right? His own being, his movies just got funnier and funnier, like,
right,
as time progressed. All right, Sean. So let's talk about Stripes.
Yeah.
What, you remember it, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Back your hand. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Murray movies. First off,
yeah,
I love
Training, sir.
Where the hell have you been, soldier?
Training, sir! Training, sir!
What kind of training, son?
Army training, sir! Army training, sir!
It was just the whole, and dude, that goes in. It was like Sergeant Bilko before Sergeant Bilko was Sergeant Bilko.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, Stripes is probably one of my favorites. They were a group of misfit, guys got sucked into the military, and it was star-studded. You had Harold Ramis, you had Judge Reinhold was in it. I think it was Judge Reinhold. I don't know. I got to double check. Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie. But anyway, in the meantime, he was the guy that was like the roller. Yeah, it was I'm pretty sure it was Judge Reinhold.
Not familiar with that.
Judge Reinhold was the guy that I don't know how else to describe who he was. He was one of those guys that I'm gonna look up Judge Reinhold's IMDb real quick. But anyway, he was the guy who's like, "Hey man,"
Oh,
he's like,
I know him
I-
from Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah.
"Yes, there you go. Yeah, okay,
Yep.
yeah." And he was also in.
Please, Billy.
He was in the Santa's Claus too. He, the guy that wanted his weenie whistle.
Yeah, my weenie
Okay.
whistle.
Yeah. So that was Judge Reinhold. He he was in it. God, there was just so many people.
Yeah.
The guy that played Sergeant Hulka.
Yeah, I've recognized him in a couple others.
I can't think of. I know he was in Bushwhacked.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He
The
was
movie
he
that
was
has Marv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was. He was the guy that had his chin super glued to the steering wheel and
Mm-hmm.
but anyway. So Stripes was a favorite with John Candy because he played Ox and he got to mud wrestle hot girls.
Well, see, the funny thing is about that, like, so that scene right there where he wrestled with the girls, like, everyone loved it, very hilarious scene, but it turned out like he was really embarrassed about that scene, just because we'll probably touch bases with that a couple times in this episode, but he was very like self-conscious about his weight, and he felt very self-conscious about that scene. So he kind of put it down, but he's like the best thing that came out of it was how many like laughs it got out of it. He's like, that's what made me happy. And the cool thing is, like, we'll probably touch bases on that, like how at some point he tried to join the military in real life, because he's like, I've got I couldn't get on with my life in football because I had a knee injury, so I tried to join the military, and they wouldn't accept me because of my bum knee too. And so he's actually putting his own character in this movie because that was his goal. It was like, I'm going to become a lean, mean fighting machine, turn my life around because I don't know what I want to do next. But
Right.
eventually he finds himself in acting, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah, because he actually fell back on it. That was his
Mhm.
fallback. He said, "I'm gonna go try out this thing that I did for like a semester in high school."
yeah,
know? But yeah, so he was like on the road to be a great football player. Like the dude was a monster.
yeah. Mhm.
But he was a massive guy. Just not like, he was a all around big dude, and that's when he like, struggled with his weight as, time progressed.
Yeah.
So but anyway, so moving on to our next one because we are going to eat up time if we long talk about every single one.
Right.
We already talked about planes, trains, and automobiles real quick or before, but we're going to dive into it real quick. I watch it every Thanksgiving like clockwork because it's a Thanksgiving holiday movie. Bro, have you ever seen the movie Due Date with Robert Downey Jr.?
No, not ringing a bell.
Okay, so it was Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. It was called Due Date. Okay, it is literally planes, trains, and automobiles. Like, it's a planes, trains, and automobile cover. Okay.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. is he plays Neil, right? And then Zach Galifianakis plays the Dale character. He's like real funny, bro. He gets him. It's updated, so they got put on the no-fly list, so they had to drive cross country. And then
Oh, jeez.
Zach Galifianakis has a masturbating French bulldog or something, and it's stupid funny, but it's a cover. It was like a tribute to. It's literally the same movie, but instead of getting home for Thanksgiving, he's got to get to his kid being born.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
but if you have not seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, it's probably one of the best hitting characters in Dale Griffith, because he's a genuine dude,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, I just make you think about being an asshole to people. It's like,
Yeah, you really have
you
no idea what's going on in their life right now.
right,
Not
exactly.
at all. Because a lot of people put up a lot of defenses, and you can tell. Yeah, he definitely hit it really well. So, but yeah, that's probably one of the most touching scenes I've always remembered. Even as a kid, it hit me hard, and still to this day, there's a scene in that movie that you'll have to see him play, and it's just seeing him.
Del, what are you doing here? You said you were going home. What are you doing here?
I don't have a home. Marie's been dead for 8 years.
He does a really good job, you know, being in an emotional role in that movie and Uncle Buck and a few others that you're just like, oh, I thought he was always just a comedian, and no, he does a really good job with that.
Yeah, he did a a great job hitting you with the feels.
Yeah.
Well, that's, if we want to jump right into a serious role, it wasn't a serious role, but it was a more serious role. It was a rom com, is what it was. Sean didn't know it existed.
Mm-mm.
I've only seen it a handful of times, but I got VHS right here. Is Only the Lonely.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
He plays an average dude that's in love, like
you and me.
like you and me, buddy. Just except for he gets, a more. I mean, dude, he
He finds love when he's not really looking for it.
Yeah, dude. He lives with his mom. He's a cop. Like, it just, we don't live with our mom, but
Right.
he definitely he plays a more serious role in that one, dude, and it's good. I'll like I said, I haven't seen it in a while. I was gonna watch it again today before we started, but then I was like, nah, I'm gonna watch Planes, Trains. So it's like the second time I watched it today.
Maybe the next time we'll get together, we'll get some popcorn and watch a romantic comedy together.
Oh, rom-com. Moving on, another one of my favorites, dude. And he didn't play a major role in it, but he played a great role in it.
Oh,
Was Nothing But Trouble.
he played 2 roles in that movie.
So he played, trying to find characters' names because I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But he played he was the bailiff and his sister. And I'm going to put a picture of them up because the sister was
Well, folks, I'd like to introduce my granddaughter, Eldona. She's single and the best Class A mechanic in 5 states.
It's adorable, Judge.
She'd make an ideal wife, too. Genuine wage earner and struck dumb at birth by a thunderclap.
My kind of woman.
I think the two of you'd make a perfect couple.
You look pretty this evening, sister.
Doing something different with your hair?
Eldona, would you please prepare the meal? Thank you, dear.
Hilarious because he didn't say any words. You know,
Right.
he just it was like, you know. That came out in '91. If nobody knew that, just throwing that out there. Had Dan Aykroyd in it, Chevy Chase,
Such a
Demi
good
Moore.
movie.
Demi Moore was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't think of what was the rap group's name.
Digital Underground.
Digital Underground was in it. Yeah.
Yeah. All around the
Yeah.
world. All around the world's the same song. All
Yeah,
around the
so
world.
good. Yeah. Oh, so funny. Anyway,
Humpty Dumpty. That's the
yeah, the Humpty Dance is what you're known for, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Nothing But Trouble is a great one.
Yes.
He like I said he wasn't standalone out in front, but
That's
he
one of
was
those
there.
movies that hit a lot of feels for me because it's one of those almost like every scene. It's almost like a Tim Burton, like the way the movie was shot, the music, everything. It's just got so many magical little feels behind it. Dan Aykroyd's character is great. A lot of makeup. He, plays like a weird, crazy old guy. But
judge.
yeah, the judge, and John Candy plays the role of the bailiff. Yeah, and the sister. The sister, she didn't talk at all. She was like,
Yeah.
but yeah, really, really good. And is it his? No, it's not his sister, but like the other cop. Um, he was in a lot of stuff with her where he was getting started off in Canada as well. They've been
Yeah, they've been
buddy
doing it forever.
for so long. Yeah,
What was her name? I have to give her a
yeah,
it's,
because she's in a lot of good stuff too.
yeah. Oh, give me 30 seconds, people, while I look her up. Because she is just she always played that bro, she was in Harry Crumb as
Yeah,
the inspector, which we'll talk about Harry Crumb.
Oh, I love Harry Crumb.
But anyway, it's Valerie Bromfield was her name.
Yeah,
And she was one of those people that she was just in a lot of stuff that he did. Bro, she was in Camp Candy. She was the other camp counselor.
yeah,
We're also
that is
gonna
really
talk
cool.
about.
Yep.
So Nothing But Trouble is another great John Candy movie that just he wasn't the prominent, but he was hilarious. One of my other favorite John Candy movies is Summer Rental.
Oh, that's a classic too. Yeah,
Dude, Summer Rental was hilarious. Dude was overworked. He was the flight. I don't want to say attendant, the radar guy. He's the guy that watched the radar, make sure the planes.
yeah,
And he was
Flight
all
tower
stressed out and
watcher.
like freaking out because there was a fly on the screen.
yeah, and he didn't see it.
Yeah.
and he almost caused a mid collision crash because he
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Right. And they're like, dude, like you got to take a vacation. So they get the Summer Rental right on the beachfront. And as he's sitting there with his family and it's all like calm and quiet, like everybody starts showing up. You know, it
Yeah.
was very slapstick, I guess, would be like some of it. I don't want to say slapstick.
It's
There was
it's very ironic. Like I feel like it's the everyman movie because I feel like this is the stuff that I'm going through right now. I've got a family. You work your day job, you're tired, you're just grumpy, and every little single thing. I mean, there is kind of a little bit of slapstick because he's a good-hearted guy, but he kind of fumbles around and does things, that I feel like, I do stupid things all the time. But I feel like he tries so hard, but he's like, okay, we're gonna go on vacation. We're gonna take the whole family. This is gonna be great. I need this little R&R, and nothing goes right. Nothing ever goes right when you try to take the family on vacation,
Right.
And it's just everything that possibly could go wrong and get you irritated. And then luckily he meets someone nice and kind of has a little bit of fun towards the end of the movie, and he He
Yeah.
meets, I can't remember his name, Pirate Jack or something.
Yeah, it was. That's why I got the IMDb pulled up so we can just help with the other
Characters'
just died?
names.
Oh,
No.
Sean died.
Oh no! I dropped my phone.
Oh no. But yeah, they start like sailing and just doing all this other fun, wacky adventure stuff.
Yeah, that's always memorable scene. So there's a scene where he ends up racing this boat, and they realize they're just too heavy, so they just start throwing all this stuff out into the ocean to get a little bit faster and faster. Oh man.
Yeah, it was I can't even find it now, so we're just going to move on because I don't want to keep people waiting.
That's fine.
It makes us sound unprepared because we are. Hey-o!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how we roll.
well, we don't like structured, so we're kind of like trying to not be structured.
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing, people tell us, again, please tell us comments, stuff, how we can do better. We're still trying to figure out stuff, but it seems like our most popular episodes are just kind of the episodes where we bullcrap. So that's why we thought it would be fun to have Kent Chungus on and just not even like BS about his podcast. Like, hey, let loose. Let's talk about what you're into and, have fun. So,
It was Rip Torn.
mm,
Rip Torn
Okay.
was his name.
okay.
Yeah. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. That guy.
Yeah.
That's Rip Torn, if you guys don't know. So moving on, one of my other favorite I've seen 500 million times is old Uncle Buck.
Hey, how you doing?
Who are
Dude, Uncle Buck,
I'm your
the
Uncle Buck.
hilarity ensues because
Unfortunately.
oh, dude,
Holy smokes.
I don't know why I always found it hilarious. It was like the bowling ball scene where he gets like smacked in the face with a bowling ball from the closet.
Yeah.
That and like he's like, have you like? So he takes old girl to school, and the guy's name was like what, Bug or something like that.
Yeah. Bug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roach.
And he's like, have you ever heard of a tune-up? He's like, have you ever heard of a ritual killing?
So, yeah, his car backfires. Everyone at the school's like, "Oh God!"
Everybody gets down.
That's another. Yeah, that's why a lot of that hits for a lot of people. He's just such a loving uncle type person. You find out, but he also has a dark side. Like, don't screw with my family, man. Like, and there's this, kind of bickering back and forth with him and his what would be niece.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, he's just sucking all the joy out of my life. He's doing all this and that, and she comes to find out like, wow, he's not so bad after all. He actually really does care.
He was right.
So
Well, that's the thing. He's from the streets. He knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two.
That's right.
And that's how the whole movie it's the dad's brother. So the
Are
mom,
you really my dad's brother?
dude, that's one of my favorite scenes ever. You hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
But he helped Macaulay Culkin out a lot in that movie. Like he took like little Macaulay Culkin under his wing to make sure he was comfortable, help him out with his lines, just being a good dude that he was. So and this was pre Home Alone too, by
Yeah,
the way.
he was very young.
But he had the street smarts that these kids didn't have, or they were young, naive, rich neighborhood type deal, where he was living in an apartment above a tire shop, just dumb stuff like that. So when he's like telling this girl like, hey, or his niece, like, hey, this is you. This is what this dude really wants. And she's like, you don't know what you're talking about, right?
Right.
And then he goes to save her at the party and puts him in the trunk and it drives him out to the middle of nowhere just to like, mess with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, like, that was their like turning point in the in the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
well, speaking of Home Alone, he was actually just a cameo in Home Alone,
Yeah.
but it was one of the best cameos ever.
And were you telling me he didn't get paid for that role?
Right, he did it as a favor for. So okay, so that was a Chris Columbus movie.
Mhm.
Okay, and he did it for because he was like big. He did a lot of John Hughes movies, right?
Mhm.
He did it as a favor to help get Chris Columbus a help because dude, Home Alone, and we'll get into this on one of our next episodes. We got it lined up. And it wasn't Chris Columbus, it was John Hughes did Home Alone, but I think it was. It's a weird situation. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not in Hollywood, but anyway, it was the movie was set up to fail. Like nobody had any. They put all their money behind this, Macaulay Culkin kid that nobody knew who he was, whatever, and it turned out to be one of the biggest holiday movies ever.
Yeah.
But he did it as a favor to play the Polka King of the Midwest.
Polka, polka, polka.
Love it.
Polka twist.
No?
He's like, these are songs? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was best like 3 minutes. And again, playing the character of the helpful role. People wanting to help people, dude. That was his. It was channeling his being, like who he was as a person.
Yeah.
It just it's who he was. Just a genuine nice guy. So, well, moving on to one of our favorites here at the podcast, the Spaceballs.
We're the Spaceballs. Watch out.
Dude, Spaceballs. Okay, so they made the role of Barf for John Candy,
Mm-hmm.
right? They didn't want to cover his face because they wanted it to be seen that it was John Candy.
Yeah.
And God, nailed it. Barf is one of he's like, I'm a Mog.
Half man, half dog.
I'm my own best friend.
Hi,
Who are you?
Barf.
Not in here, mister. This is a Mercedes.
Nah, that's my name. Barf.
Barf? What are you?
I'm a Mog. Half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
Yeah, dude. That any Mel Brooks movie, I absolutely loved, and that his role in that movie was great.
Oh, dude. First off, if you don't know, if you haven't gone to our store yet, please do go check it out. www.turbogeeksultra.com. It is our store, and you heard it here first. I have some new shirt designs on the website for you to go check out. You can get and I'm going to put it up here right now. Bam, as you see it in my hand. Ooh, we have a Retro Hunter t-shirt that I put together. So it's, let people know what you do for fun. It just straight says Retro Hunter on the shirt. Okay. And then I have a more fun shirt out there. It says Turbo Geeks Never Say Die.
Yes.
And it's
yes.
got the cartoon, Inferno looking ship on there. So Turbo Geeks Never Say Die. Yeah. And get those guy styles, girl styles, stickers. Like we got all the goodies on there. So go check out our store, www.turbogeeksultra.com. Get some merch. It's so good. I want these shirts.
Yeah.
It's
I'll have to order.
Almost like I didn't make them. You know what I mean? Like I would buy them as a person. Like, oh, I really want that shirt.
Yeah. Which we'll end up doing.
Duh, because we're the only ones that buy our stuff.
Right.
And Clint, thanks, Clint.
Thank
Here's
you,
your,
Clint.
here's your shout out, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
So, but Spaceballs, our store is called Turbo Geeks Ultra, the
The
store. Yeah, it's a throwback to Spaceballs. And then, dude, I'll tell you another one of my all-time favorites, and we watched it the other week, and you just totally shut me down when I showed it. The Great Outdoors.
Hey,
Oh, Chet Ripley again with, Second City alum Dan Aykroyd.
yep,
So good. Those
Yeah.
guys.
another great dad, just being an awesome dad, trying to make the best out of everything, and everything that could go wrong went wrong, but still such a great movie.
If you could pick a favorite scene in The Great Outdoors, what would it be?
The one that's most memorable, because it's his face that he makes, and you're like, this. It's like he's excited to show his son. He's like, this will be fun, and then it just goes catastrophically wrong, and it's so weird because it's just nostalgia overload between the sounds of the paper coming off the what was it, Baby Ruths, but they're trying to feed don't feed the bears, but they're feeding the bears. They're feeding the bears the candy bars, and the bears are on top of the Jeep, and he's freaking out, and they end up driving off with the Jeep, the bears on top of the Jeep, and I love that scene so much.
So, one of my favorite is I don't know why they're talking about getting a pontoon, right?
Mhm.
And Dan Aykroyd's character, he's like, we're gonna get a sweet jet boat.
Yeah,
He was like, no, we're gonna get a pontoon and cruise the lake.
yeah.
And he's like, would you guys rather have a pontoon, cruise the lake, or a jet boat? And the kids are like, jet boat. Like, sorry, Dad.
Of course. Jet, son of a.
But no. But my favorite is they get said jet boat in the skiing scene.
Go in the water skiing. Yeah,
Yeah. I do. I love that scene. It's so hilarious.
that's pretty impressive. Like because back then they didn't have CGI like they do now. Like he was really like skiing. That's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
It was definitely all stunt because dude, there's like a scene where you see like the stuffed shirt.
Yeah.
Man, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, yeah. But so next on the list, we are going to talk about the totally racist, but it was in the
Oh.
90s, so
And it's one of my
nobody batted it. Nobody batted an eye. But it was Who's Harry Crumb? The movie is hilarious, but going back and watching it in 2022, wow.
Yeah.
He does what it was. He was a private eye that
Mhm.
his a long line of generational private eyes that they were great, and he totally sucks.
Yeah, he's like the Mr. Magoo of Private Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just dumps. This is true slapstick. Like he puts his hands down on
Yeah.
on the desk and just
Yeah.
bap, and like, and he's got all the
Yes.
fish hooks in his hands, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I pointed this out to Sean after we watched it, and I'll tell you guys too. So the girl that played the younger sister in that movie I'm pretty sure her name was Amy in the Saw movies. But she was the little girl in there, and then she was go with Saw 2. But anyway, in Saw, she was the girl that had the
Yeah, I
claw
remember her.
trap on her face that she got out of.
See, I don't remember
Amanda.
the Saw movies.
Her name was
as well as I
Amanda.
do Harry Crumb.
And it's Shawnee Smith was her name, and she was just a all around super young actor. But yeah, I was like, she looks familiar. I don't know who she is, and I like looked her up. I was like, oh my god, that's her as an adult,
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah.
But so back to Harry Crumb being mildly racist. So there is a scene where he is a plumber, but he's in disguise, right? But he's like this full like Indian, right? Would you call it Indian?
Is that what? Oh no, that's right.
Or is he like some
No,
kind
it wasn't a plumber. It was for AC. I think it was like
AC?
for the
Yeah,
heating and cooling.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was either he was either Indian or, but he was in brown face with
Mhm.
like the gold tooth and the turban, and
Mhm.
bro, he even talked in like
An Indian
and
voice
yeah,
accent.
but like a broken English accent. And I was just like,
Right.
oh god, like
Yeah.
bro, that would get shut down so fast
Yeah.
in this day and
Oh yeah.
age.
They don't have those kind of movies. It's like watching Airplane nowadays. You're like, wow, I can't believe this is a movie,
Oh
but
right,
still hilarious.
right, or literally any Mel Brooks movie ever.
Yeah.
So, but all right, let's see what else we got. Oh, this is one he played a very subtle role in. He didn't play it himself. And oh, I forgot to show you. I got Great Outdoors on VHS.
Nice. That's
I
pretty clean
forgot.
too.
Oh, dude, I try to buy very clean VHS movies.
Hmm.
I really do. But this one, he voiced a character.
Dude, I didn't know you had that on VHS. So explain to me, from what I've seen, like, so a buddy of mine showed me heavy metal a long time ago, and I thought it was like series upon series upon series upon series. Is it just one movie, or is it a show?
So
Was it a show?
there was 2 movies. Okay,
Okay.
so the thing is that the soundtrack is what is glorious, and
Mm-hmm.
um, dude, I mean, like I'll give you the rundown. So the soundtrack is Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, Cheap Trick, Devo, Donald Fagen, Felder, Grand Funk Railroad, Sammy Hagar, Journey, Nazareth, Stevie Nicks,
Nice.
Riggs, and Trust. Right, that's who the soundtrack is. So it was, but it's an anthology, is what it is, which I'm
Okay.
shocked you haven't been.
Yeah.
But what it so they play, and him and Harold Ramis was also in it.
Really? I had no
Yeah.
idea he was in it.
So it was. Let me pull up some facts here while we're talking about it.
Yeah, I've seen bits and scenes when I was doing some research about John Candy, and I completely forgot about that. I remember my friend telling me about it, and I remember only seeing certain scenes, and I think John Candy voiced a couple of different characters. Um, but I had no idea Harold Ramis was in, and then that's really interesting to me because it's completely out of their normal roles. So that's pretty cool.
Well, it was 81, so it wasn't too far out because they were young and
Yeah.
trying to make that money.
Mhm.
But dude, it was the first time I've ever seen an animated booby.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. All right, so we got the cast. Oops. Directors, writers, stars. But it's like the anthology was great because it goes around talking about this ultimate entity that is carrying the writing credentials, cast. All right, here we go. So he played, yeah, he was a lot of them. So he was in the Death Sergeant in Harry Canyon. He played Dan in the segment Den, and then he played Den in the segment Den. He played the robot in So Beautiful and So Dangerous segment.
Do remember that. Yep.
And then let's see, where Eugene Levy was in it.
Nice.
Harold Ramis he played Zeke in So Beautiful, So Dangerous. So just a lot of these guys that were up and coming,
Mm-hmm.
They just played all these different characters. And dude, if you like metal and you like animation, like dude, it's so cool. It really is.
Yeah, I'm gonna check
it's a
it out.
classic. It's a classic, yeah. And not necessarily like on VHS either, Sean. If you want to get it on DVD, man, it's super dope.
Yeah.
But then there's also Heavy Metal 2000 that came out when we were kids.
Right.
And that's a little bit more story driven as like one story compared to like the anthology that was Heavy Metal.
Cool. Okay.
So, and you could watch Heavy Metal 2000 on literally everything right now. I think
Right.
it's, but that was the second place I saw animated movies for the first time. So, yeah, animated movies for the win. And speaking of animated boobies, let's talk about Camp Candy. Do you remember Camp Candy?
Hey, yeah, dude, I really do. Yeah.
So Camp Candy was John Candy's animated show that went like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Like it was there for a minute. But again, being the guy that he is, he was like he was helping. Like it was a very positive show. It wasn't
Always had a good message in the show.
right. So Camp Candy, and I'm gonna throw up clips for you guys so you get that like wow factor of, oh, I remember that, or you don't remember that, and you're like, oh, I never got to see that. Oh,
She's
this is so funny. She's like, I know what she said right there. We're not allowed to say it on this episode. But yeah, so Camp Candy was great, man. It was fun, very wholesome, very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Just I got nothing. It was very like wholesome and loving and good message.
Yeah.
Kind of like the person that he wanted to be.
Yes.
So let's talk about the sadness because we're getting close to time here. So John Candy struggled with his weight very like his entire life of, acting. He never everybody was always worried about him too. Like, oh, that's you're John, you got to do something about your weight, bud. And he's like, oh no. But did he smoke? He drank. Like they said at midnight on clockwork, he'd swap from his Jack and Cokes to like the straight, I think it was like straight bourbon or something like that after midnight. And he would just change as a person, be grumpy and angry. But anyway, so he ended up getting really heavy, and he was shooting for the film Wagons East. And he one day after shooting, dude, they knew it was hot, dude. In Mexico, it was 500 degrees, and dude, and people would always say that in the movies that they were shooting with John Candy, he was always on set, whether he was in it or not. And they said, and they figured out that he discovered it was easier for him to stay on set than it was for him to walk the 200 yards to his trailer. So, yeah, just his weight got the better of him. And dude, and I can relate. Like I'm a big dude, but I'm not as big as I was. Like I was a big boy. I hit 500 pounds, man, and I just couldn't live like that anymore. I went to Disney World, and that's when I realized I was super fat because dude, I couldn't walk around Disney chasing kids. It was horrible. I literally got stuck in a ride. Like I got down in the ride and I couldn't get out. So that's when I was like, screw this.
Something's got to change. Yeah.
Something's got to change. But, and, I kind of had an epiphany about that after doing a little bit more research on John Candy. He went, after a day of shooting, they went back to his apartment, and dude, he made dinner for his assistants. Made spaghetti dinner. Everybody left. He was going to bed, and never woke up. He had a heart attack when he was overnight, and he was found the next morning by his driver because John Candy, they said he was always the first one, like he was on time on set, like he was there. And when he was late, they were like, something's not right. Well, then his driver busted through the door and found him in his bed. Sean, he was 43 years old, man.
Yeah, it's just like you never know. Because his dad died at like 35, which is like our age. You know, we're a little bit older, but it's, you know,
From a heart attack.
Right, from a heart attack. Yep. And he was so young, you know, his parents couldn't even really relay the message to him, like what really happened at that point. And I was thinking about that too. I'm like, man, if I croak now, like how would, you know, my kids readjust? It's really, really depressing. And that just kind of always was just a shadow over him the whole time. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna die at 35. And he got past that, but it's, you know, it was a lot of mixture of things, and definitely like the weight stuff didn't help. But just like you never know, it's you try to enjoy life and, you know, make everyone happy and do what you can for everyone, and you don't even leave time for yourself.
Well, it's funny. They were talking about him, and they're like, he never slept.
No,
Guilty.
that's you.
Dude, I never sleep. I nap. I'll nap. I'll come home from work. I'll nap for a couple hours, and then I'll stay up till 3, 4 in the morning. Then I'll nap for a couple more hours.
Yep.
Get up and go to work. Like I'm never asleep, and it makes me wonder. Like, dude, it really did. Being a big guy, I was like, dude, I'm closer to 43 than I am 30. Like,
yeah, it's scary because I have to go. I'm having that problem too. I'm not sleeping enough, and it is a part of my weight issue too. I have really bad sleep apnea, and it's just like the heavier I get, the worse I'm snoring, and am sleeping on fumes. I'm lucky to get a good solid 2-3 hours of sleep. So I'm you know, I'm your generic guy that hates, you know, having to go to the doctor and all that crap. And my wife's luckily been pushing me to go, and I need to go pick up my sleep study here in a couple of days. But I need to do that. It sucks. I hated doing the sleep apnea thing before, but it's just I got to do it. I got to start working on myself and doing better.
You're not a big dude.
No.
Like,
but it's like, but you know, we all know like weight varies in size and length. Like I think I probably have at least 6 or 7 inches tall wise on you. Maybe I don't know.
I know,
but it's
I'm like 5.
Everyone
10,
carries their
11-ish.
weight differently.
Yeah,
and I'm
you're just
definitely
all in your
overweight.
belly.
I'm probably exactly. It's all in my tum. So
Well,
I'm
if you quit drinking, you'd probably lose.
I know.
Like
Wife
50
says that. She's like, stop drinking beer. You're probably going to shed 30 pounds. I'm like, but I like my beer.
I love it. But yeah, man, John Candy, and it's funny, even after my microphone's broke. Oh, guess I have to buy a new one.
Time to upgrade.
Upgrade, yes.
With 2 D.
So John Candy, like I said, doing the research, it made me go, well, I don't want to die at 43.
No,
you know, at all. So I should probably like fix that.
We should try to help each other because we're struggling.
Well, dude, I want to do a segment of picking a series and like walking through the series.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Good idea.
So I Austin and Brody, we did the anime episode. We were all talking about like you need to watch Naruto. You need to watch Naruto. And I was like, hey, I got an idea for a segment. I'm going to do Naruto walking because there's Naruto running, you know?
Oh, okay.
And that's what they do. They're like, tick, 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 tick. That's how they broke into Area 51. Everybody knew Naruto ran into the thing. So I was wanting to do Naruto walking, and I was just going to watch all of Naruto, but only on the treadmill. Like I could only watch Naruto unless I was watching it on the in the because Ren has a little workout room in there. I was gonna get a treadmill and walk while watching that. That's the only way I could do it. And then I thought about really losing weight, and it's like I'm gonna work out every day until I catch up with One Piece, which is another anime that has over 1,000 episodes. So
Wow.
I'd be exercising for like the next 40 years. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just some kind of motivation to like change my situation because, dude, I don't want to die at 43, bro. I couldn't imagine, what would happen if, Ren had to, woke up the next morning and try to wake me up for work.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
And you know what I mean? Like, bro, could you imagine getting that phone call? Like,
I'd be
that,
devastated.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. I don't want to be that. I want to grow old and make the most out of my life because and it's funny because it's always the big funny guys that go out super young.
Yep.
And that kind of, I don't know, just doing the research on John Candy, man. I wanted to be I want to be like John Candy. Like I want to do good by people. I want to just bring a light to everybody that's around me in the room. Be a very positive person. And I don't know, he touched me, and not in the 2022 way of touching me, like the touching me of I don't know. It made me think a lot after doing some research on John Candy. So
yeah, it hits home.
Old John Candy, God bless you, sir. I hope you're up there in reincarnation world, just thinking that I don't know, just a great human being.
He was.
So, all right, final thoughts on John Candy. Now that we got all sentimental and fun,
love it.
If you haven't seen a John Candy movie, you have been living under a rock because he was, like I said, he was that era of great comedian that came out in the late 70s into the 80s. I mean, dude, there's movies where like The Volunteers with him and Tom Hanks. He was in Splash with Tom Hanks. He was in.
Oh yeah.
There's so many movies out there that we didn't cover. These were just a handful of the ones that we enjoyed, and it's my favorite scene right there. You're going the wrong way.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, they turned to skeleton.
How do they know which way we're going?
Oh gosh.
Oh man. They catch the car on fire and burn it up. It's so good. Anyway. But yeah, so John Candy, the legend. So good. All right. What you got?
Show and tell. I
Talk to me, babe.
I picked up a lot of people talk crap about these. This is not the actual licensed Nintendo version, but it has.
Is this what you got at the toy store?
Yeah, it was at the Peddler's Market.
Okay.
So it was on sale for $15. Totally worth it. It has practically all the Ninja Turtles games on it. So Mario, Burger Time. I've been having a blast. It's great. And it looks like it has the original NES plugs. So I might try to pick up an original NES controller. Though it does come with original NES controller look-alike, but the buttons kind of don't feel the same. So I wanted to see if that'll plug back up. But at that Peddler's Market, I found...
Wait a minute.
I
want to play it.
Yeah, well, I'll bring it over.
So dope.
You still have Component on the back of that TV?
Yeah. How do you think I'm watching? No, that's
VHS. Oh yeah.
I got my PlayStation hooked up, so that's Component.
Nice. Sweet. Yeah, we'll bring it over then. Yeah, because it does come with 2 controllers, so we can play some 2-player stuff.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah. And then these were like staring at me for a while, and they dropped in price, and I'm going to leave these on card. So you should be
Shut
proud
up.
of me. Yeah, I will. So
What you
I
got?
picked up the re-release of the Kenner Real Ghostbusters. So I got
That's super dope.
Zedmore.
And
got-
this is from Out of This World? That's how you picked these
No,
up? Oh.
no, the Peddler's Market, $7 a piece. And they look so freaking cool. Got Ray Stantz
Oh, nice.
and got Spangler. But I picked up 2. So what I'm gonna do for everyone is that we're gonna do a giveaway on our Instagram. Not sure how we're gonna do it, so stay tuned. But I think it's probably just gonna be like, hey, tag someone, tag this, and do that. But stay tuned. We're gonna give this away, free shipping and everything. Don't worry about it. If we call your name, we're gonna ship it right to you. So we're gonna leave it on card, and I thought it was really cool.
And again, our Instagram is Turbo Geeks Ultra Podcast, all one word. We post so much fun stuff on there. Check it out. Give it some love. Give it a follow. And then I think what we'll do is we'll do a hashtag, which you and I will work out the details. But I think a hashtag.
Probably just TGU giveaway is going to be probably the greatest.
I don't like that one.
No?
No, we'll call it Turbo. It's full on Turbo
Ooh.
giveaway. Dude,
Okay.
fun
As
fact
long as
about
it's not
Turbo.
already taken. Yeah.
We'll take it back. Taking it back. So Ren wanted a bidet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It has a turbo button.
You did tell me that. I refuse
have a
to
turbo
probably
toilet.
ever use one of those. That's so weird.
Not to talk about hygiene, but
They're pretty sweet.
it's pretty sweet. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
And then I went to visit our friends at Out of This World. Saw Donovan. Poor guy was looking real tired. He picked up a second job. And I think he's gonna start working there more. So we'll probably be seeing less Donovan, unfortunately. But it was good seeing him, catching up a little bit. And it was funny because I saw this on Out of This World's Facebook page. And I said, I need to get it. And it was still there. And I got it for a great price. So people say I'm buying toys for myself, but I'm buying it for my daughter. And I'm saying I'm buying it for my daughter. So I'll probably give this to her for Easter. But I found this Jurassic Park Jeep with a working winch.
That's
for
super dope.
$5, dude. So I think some of her figures that I even got her can fit in here. We've got some Playmobil figures she plays with, some Bluey characters. And if you're an adult like me that has young children and has a hard time watching some stuff, there's a show called Bluey. You need to watch it. It is bearable and funny still for adults. And we have a lot of laughs out there. And I want to do a shout out for there's a podcast out there. It's called Real Life Pod. And that is a podcast about the show Bluey. And I thought that was really cool. I've been listening to that and kind of relating to that because that is one of the bearable kids cartoon shows that I can watch with my daughter and kind of enjoy that with her. And then the Mac Daddy, I picked up Slimer, Ghostbusters. I'm pulling this one out of the box.
Stop it.
But he's going to be with the rest of my Ghostbusters. I'm going to have Zedmore, since he's got the Proton stream coming out, trying to catch Slimer. So, and the cool thing about these,
That's not screen accurate.
what?
It's not screen accurate.
You'll have to see it better. I think it looks very screen accurate.
I don't know. It is, every time you get it. So, Sean, when you show stuff, getting it closer does not help because of your light.
Yeah.
All you see is your ring light. So you'll have to send me a picture and I will post it up.
Yeah.
for everyone
Okay.
to see.
The cool thing about these, so maybe we saw some at the toy show, but maybe I'll be able to find more over time. But each character has a piece of diorama in there. And if you get them all, you can put the diorama together. So, I mean, there's Louis Tully, there's Janine Melnitz, there's...
Oh, Hold on.
Yeah, see
We
Janine.
forgot to bring that up.
What's that?
Bro, Tully was designed, the character was made for John Candy.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. In Ghostbusters. Yep.
It was supposed to be John Candy, and he didn't know how to play the character. So they're like, he's like, well, here's my friend Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
And like
he just gave it to him. And
yeah. And the same with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I did not know about that. That's really
he was
interesting.
like he was supposed to be the the character for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the dad, I can't think of his name.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, nope, here's Rick. Like,
yeah,
we just take Rick. So
yeah, the cool thing about that group of tight-knit, awesome actors, Eugene Levitz is also in Ghostbusters too, but those scenes never got put in the movie. So Eugene Levitz actually plays like Rick Moranis's character. It's like brother or cousin or something, and he's very nerdy and stuff, and is trying to persuade Eugene Levitz's character to bust the Ghostbusters out of jail to fight. So yeah, it is really cool. It's cool to see those scenes.
So okay, continue. Now that
that's it. That's all I got. I was really happy. So I picked those up. Like I said, the Jurassic Park for $5, and then I picked up Slimer for $30. I thought he looked really, really cool. So he comes with 3 faces. One's a mouthful of hot dogs, and then two other faces. So that's gonna look cool on there. So stay tuned. We'll be giving away Spangler, real Ghostbusters on card, and I think it's sweet.
Awesome. So with that being said, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Sean.
And we are out of here.
See ya.
Okay, bye. Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, we appreciate every single one of you guys. So if you could, go to our Instagram and follow us at Turbo Geeks Ultra Podcast, all one word, and check out all of our cool skits and fun posts that we do there. Also, while you're there, you can click our LinkedIn right in the bio, and that'll take you to all of our other links, including our store, TurboGeeksUltra.com, where you can get t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, cool stuff like that, just to show off to all your friends that you listen to one of the most turbo podcasts on the internet. If you want to buy us a coffee, you can buy me a coffee at Buy Me a Coffee. Doing a podcast is fun, but it's also expensive. And if you want to support us, every little bit helps. As always, I'm Brandon, and we are out of here.